everybody. This is your girl, Lisa Marie with Global Fight Talk. On the phone, as you can see, I have Nick The Ghost Gonzalez. What up, Nick?
What's up, Lisa?
November 9th, you stepped in the ring and you fought. And something happened after that. A lot of the fighters on that card did not get paid. And I know that Bas Rutten, who is the president, took to Facebook about the whole situation. I know that BJJ.com has been, writing about it. People have been talking about not getting paid. So let's talk about you. What happened with that situation leading up to it about not getting paid? I know that you trained hard for this fight and you don't get paid.
So how all that started? Yeah, I got a call from actually it was my former trainer to set up for the bare knuckle fight, and I was like interested in it because it was definitely great, money compared to some of the regional shows, and that's also why I didn't want to fight really in Texas in the regional circuits anymore, because as you know, everybody and their mother makes you sell tickets now, right? And I got into fighting. Yeah, I got into fighting to fight. Not sell tickets. Back in the day when I started, it was like, you get $200 to do these 4-man tournament. You win the tournament, you get $1,000, and it's like that's what we, I've been through everything, right? And so now I'm like, I want to fight. I don't want to sell tickets. So that's why I decided to go to the commission, whatever. Bare knuckle pops up, good money. It's $100,000 for the tournament I was in. I mean, you're not getting that kind of money in these regional shows, and they're paying already a lot better than any regional show, anyways. So the kind of the joke I was making was like, oh, I don't have to sell tickets. I'm gonna go and fight bare knuckle and I get paid better, and I don't get paid at all. So it's fucked up, right? Because I was making a joke like, yeah, I don't have to sell tickets. I'm just go out there and fight somebody bare knuckle. Now I don't get paid at all. So it's 5 weeks. It's going on 6 weeks now. We haven't been paid. So from the beginning, after Bas Rutten put that post out about the account being froze, the whatever. I love Bas. Everybody knows Bas. You love him to death. He's a pioneer, but I don't think he's involved in it that much. I think he's kind of the face. I think they're telling him like, hey, this is what's going on, and he's just going out and saying shit, But on a weekly basis, a daily basis, talking to the promoter, Tomas Stawinski, whatever his name is, we are, myself, Mike Bronzulis from Texas, he was in the tournament that I was in. We all stay in touch. So it's like the fighters all kind of started banding together, and we're all kind of getting the same thing every week. You're getting the runaround from Tomas, like, oh, next week, and oh, the account was frozen, so now we got to go through this financial thing, and then it's a holiday, it's Thanksgiving, right, coming up, so it'll be done next week, and then next week comes around, and then it's like, well, we need a signature, and the financial whatever lender thing is in California, so we got to do it. It's one thing after the other. It's every week has been next Friday. So I was trying to do things, without saying anything, because I did say something on social media, and so immediately they called me and they told me, hey man, take that down, whatever. Long story short, nobody got paid. So if you saw the BJpen.com thing, article, nobody got paid, no staff, no fighters. The hotel hasn't even been paid. It's a fucking mess. Like, I've never heard of anything like this. You're from Texas. You know how our commission is, right? Like, you get a bounce check, you call Big Greg, you call a commission, like, you get your money pretty quick. Yeah. 5 weeks later, we're going on 6 weeks now, so it's been one thing after the other. So even Bas Rutten just put a thing out a couple days ago again, and again I read it. It's so generic because, like, I've been hearing the same shit for the last 6 weeks. Oh, next week, next Friday, I promise you, I give you more than next Friday, and Tuesday, and this, like.
Well, this is what I read on BJpen.com. I said the name incorrectly earlier. That what Bas Rutten has, posted, that a lot of the fighters are talking to the owner of WBKF, and he's have given them money, or he's wire transferred like maybe $500 here, maybe for their rent or their electricity or whatnot. So I'm curious, did you ever get, anything like a wire transfer, as they claim that some of the fighters are getting?
I did not. No, I didn't. And
Okay. Do
actually,
you know it? But do you know of any other fighters that got a wire transfer? Because you said you kept in contact.
yeah, no, there's 9 friends on my social media that I'm talking to. None of them have gotten anything. So Joey Angelo's on my social media. I'm talking to him a lot. Him and Julian Lane got the fight of the night, and they're supposed to get the Mustangs. That they were giving these custom. He doesn't even have the Mustang. And he was even like, "Fuck the Mustang! I want my money. Your Christmas is coming up." And that's kind of what's really frustrating and what makes me more upset than anything is like Tomas, the owner, gets into bare knuckle thing. I don't know why. I think he's just one of these dudes. Is like kind of reminded me of Ron Hernandez, the guy that promoted fights here in Austin, Texas, and there was another guy in South Texas, the UWF. I don't know if you remember. They gave away. They were doing $25,000 tournament. Okay, well, those two guys, let's say Ron and Oscar, whatever reason, they like MMA. They get involved in it, but they're not from MMA. You know what I mean? They never train. They don't fight. They don't understand the lifestyle, right? And then you take somebody like Mick Maynard, you see the success that Mick has had. Mick also, though, but Mick was in the gym. He trained jiu-jitsu. He's doing Muay Thai. He's around these guys. He's from that fight world, so he understands it. Tomas obviously doesn't. So he's not only hurting these fighters. I mean, we're going out there. You're taking fucking shots to the face with bare knuckles. Like that shit's no joke. My lip got split open. Obviously I lost. I was in the losers bracket for the tournament, but so I had still another fight. But it's like, man, that shit fucking hurt, and you're out there fighting bare knuckle, but the effect that it has down the road, like you start talking to all these guys. Like one dude's car got repoed. Some other people are late on payments. That they're losing shit. You're depending. Like I said the other day, you're depending on. Like on the 9th, okay, I'm gonna make X amount of dollars on the 9th. So next week when I get my check or when I deposit whatever, I'm gonna use this money for that, this money for this, and I'm gonna pay this. Like you already got in your head, mapped out what you're gonna do with that, whatever your purse was, Like even if you just got show money, you're like, okay, I'm getting this at the worst. So worst case, so I'm gonna use this for this, and that, And so you're depending on that. So and you're depending, okay, I'm gonna buy my kids this, I'm gonna do that, or whatever, like you start to affect the families, and that's the thing. Like I don't think guys that like Tomas, I'm kind of rambling on, but the point is, it affects the families. We all have families. We're fighters. We get out there. It's a barbaric thing. You're out there, beating the crap out of each other, whatever. I have kids. A lot of these guys have kids. We have families. So it affects not just us, but them. The there's a woman named Latasha Marzola. She's one of the staff that hasn't been paid. She's got kids. There's a writer that hasn't been paid, and I mean it's just ridiculous. I mean I didn't even know. I read the thing about the hotel. I'm like, damn, they didn't even pay the hotel. No wonder they were telling us to charge everything to the hotel. They're like, oh, just charge.
That's one of the things that I read also is that they didn't even give you per diem. That what they promised about the per diem that you guys were supposed to get, that it was charged to the hotel. So y'all didn't even have money to eat on, or didn't have the necessary tools to even cut weight when you guys got there. Now that's what I read, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now, okay? I mean, it's media and that's what we're supposed to do, I guess. And bare knuckle boxing, you said it's very barbaric and it's very new. And that's why they can't go anywhere else other than where they're at, Wyoming, right? That's where they throw mostly all their fights. They can't do it here in Texas because it's not approved yet. So something that new, bare knuckle boxing, what comes to mind as a fighter? Like, okay, the money sounds good. The money sounds really, really good. And they're going after all these veterans that used to fight, like in the UFC, Bellator, just anywhere they can get, like name fighters, and they get them on their card, and you guys don't get paid because of that. What are you thinking? Because what I used to say, a lot of promoters feed on hungry fighters. If you don't have a manager, you don't have somebody to watch over you or make those decisions, they feed off a hungry fighter and say yes to anything. Like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Oh, bare knuckle boxing. Oh, they're paying really good money. 5 here, 10 here to show, and an extra 5 or 10 to win. It sounds good. At any point, does any fighter think, this is new, am I going to get paid? Let me do some research on these guys.
No, I don't think anybody does, but it's really funny because I was talking to Mike Bronzoulis, because of course he's from Texas, and he got I won't say I got him in the tournament, but I gave him the referral of who he needs to talk to get the tournament, right? And we're just talking, and he's like, man, this is not looking right. Or, why is it taking so weak? It took like I didn't think I got my flight itinerary until about a week out. It was just very disorganized. But that was one thing Coach Eric was telling me, the guy that got me in the fight. It's very disorganized. Like the guy's got money, he's got all these custom Mustangs, and apparently he's got a lot of money to whatever he's paying good, but it's very disorganized. So that's kind of I guess the nature of the beast when they're starting something new and you're trying to get the staff together, and he has no experience again in the fight world, so he's trying to bring in staff that does, and so it's just all disorganized. So yeah, the per diem was a mess. Flight itinerary. I mean, everything was just disorganized. I guess it's controlled chaos. Controlled chaos is probably the easiest way to put it because it was a fucking wreck, really. You get there, you're like, "Where's my per diem?" And then they're like, "Oh, you don't have any per diem?" I'm like, no, didn't y'all tell us we're gonna get per diem? I mean, that's what we talked about in that conference call that Paul Tyler did, and that guy got fired. So I mean, the Paul Tyler guy, I'm pretty sure you read that he was supposedly sabotaging the showcase. Paul saying, we're getting per diem and this and that. Then they fire him, and they're like, well, we're still told we're getting per diem, right? So where's it at? And they're like, oh, well, just charge it to the room. You're like, all right, but it's just kind of one of these things like out of a movie. We've been all kind of talking about them. I can't really believe how bad it is, that it's not 1 week, it's not, and then it's just gotten worse, to be honest. Where I don't see it being paid from the owner directly. We're not getting.
Let's go back to Bas Rutten. Like you said, you don't think he's just the face, and like you said, whatever they're feeding him, that's what he's putting out there. Do you think they use Bas Rutten as someone like, oh, this is Bas Rutten, this is legit, this is a stand-up guy. So yeah, I would love to fight bare knuckle because this guy, Bas Rutten, do you think that's what they did?
Maybe not like with the idea to do it that way, but I mean, it's a good look, I mean, it definitely is, it's like if you were gonna go start a new show in South America somewhere, right? And let's say you get Joe Silva, the former matchmaker for the UFC. Everybody knows Joe Silva. They might not know him as much as Bas, but because obviously he was a fighter, he's a little more personable, outgoing. But the hardcore fans and media people know Joe Silva, right? So if Joe Silva's down in fucking Argentina starting the show, and everybody's like, and they're paying good, but it's like, oh, Joe Silva's down there, so it has to be legit. That's kind of the first thing you think of, So I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, I now I think so. Yeah, in the beginning, it's like, no, they brought him in, he's legit. Now I'm just thinking, okay, he was just kind of a puppet, and I don't think he's involved in, like I said, as much as he's saying or you would think he is, because he's got, I think he's got a school in LA. He's acting still, he's all over. He's got the MMA or what is it, MMA Access or Access TV show every Friday with Kenny Rice. I mean, he's doing a lot of things, So yeah, I think he just kind of trying to come in at the end to save the day, but it obviously is not safe.
Like you said, like these promoters who are just fans who do not understand what a fighter goes through and how much money they have to spend and the time they have to take off if you're not a full-time fighter and you have to work. I don't think they understand that you have to pay your trainers. You have to put gas to go to multiple gyms to train. You're taking time away from your family and from your job. And sometimes if you're not on salary, you're not going to get paid, when you take that time off. I know we've spoke previously in the past how I know that you're an electrician, and you had to take time off from your job to go fight. And you also started your career in, doing judging now, in Austin. So you couldn't do that anymore while you fought. So you had to go away from that. So there's a lot of things that you had to go away from just for this fight, not to get paid.
They actually took my license from me, suspended it for going and fighting. The Big Greg emailed me and like, "You're fired, motherfucker." He didn't say it like that, but I mean, the email was basically letting me know that you're done. I mean, not you're done, but your license is suspended. You're fighting. I'm like, shit. I was actually hoping because it was out of state, it wasn't going to be too much of an issue, but the rules are rules, So I got that email. I was like, damn it. So after I think the second week of not being paid, I emailed him back. I'm like, hey man, can we work something out? I fucked up, But and I mean, honestly, I don't see another show happening with this company. I think this is it. So whether I was in the, I was still in the $100,000 tournament because it was a double elimination. So I still had a chance, But if I was going to fight in the double elimination, I'm fighting the losers bracket now. But it's just like, even if they somehow paid us next week and got their shit together and decided to have another show, like, hey, come out and fight. I'm like, no, thanks. It's all right. This is way too much stress for what it was wasn't worth what I did. This is what I'm saying. You lose your license, time off from work. I obviously got cut up, hands were busted up. So when I got back, instead of going to work right away, I had to take a couple more days off because my hands were still a little swollen. And I'm an electrician, so I use my hands. License is gone. Yeah, time off. So I got to pay. I owe a couple trainers money. And
not only that, like you said, it's bare knuckle. So yeah. I remember reading that you said this is the real deal shit. When you get hit, every punch hurts. So that money, if you do not have insurance, right, from your job or whatever, you have to use that money to go to the doctor if you get cut. Or I don't know how bare knuckle boxing works, like how it does here in Texas or any other state. That if you get cut or get hurt, that they pay for your hospital bill.
Well, they had a doctor back there. I got soda. I got my stitches and everything back there because every fight, somebody got cut or knocked out. I mean, it's fucking bare knuckle. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you how bloody it was. It was like every fight. Even the girls. I think the chick from Fort Worth got cut open. Everybody was cut. So there was a real badass surgeon guy that stitched us up. They brought in like some high dollar doctor to stitch us up. So I mean that was covered because it's like they do have a commission there in Wyoming. So they did have referees, judges, doctors, everything like any other state. But that's it. I mean I had to get the stitches out here. Luckily I have a doctor that I've worked with in the past. And I'm like, hey man, can you take these stitches out of my face? And he's like, yeah, no problem. I mean it's just one of those things that you're like, oh fuck, man, what did I get myself into? Or you're sitting there thinking about getting the stitches out because you still don't have any money yet. You're still behind. You got rent coming up. You got bills to pay. I mean, people forget about that, whether they see fighters on TV and everything else. Like, because you're on TV or because you go and have a big fight, it doesn't mean your bills are going to stop because you're fighting on television. And it's just one of these things that you kind of had to learn. For me, I had to learn the hard way, and it kind of shows you. The fight business can be shady. I've always said that, but not this shady. This is like something beyond a fucking movie because it leaked out on social media. The owner got indicted, and I don't know if he's still under investigation for mortgage fraud.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, it's a bad thing. So then he's under investigation for mortgage fraud. So he had some shady stuff going on. And, then I think he was trying to blame everything in the beginning on Paul Tyler. And then, like, now that guy is nowhere to be found. Or, he's working for the other bare knuckle show. So the rumor was that Dave Feldman, the promoter for the other bare knuckle, BKFC, was paying him to sabotage this show. Which, in the beginning, it sounded like, okay, yeah. They fired him, though. And then they brought other people in. They saved the show. The show happened. It's like, okay, but then more stuff, just everything, just every week, something else. You're like, okay, so I don't believe that. I believe the story that maybe he was working for the other show, but it's like, okay, a month later, you know, like you can't go back and blame that guy anymore. Like something else is going on. Then the
You know,
mortgage.
it sucks. I mean, I don't have no other better word to use other than it sucks as a fighter, not to get paid.
You could say it fucking sucks. That I think
Well, there you go. It sucks. You can say it sucks as a fighter because as a former fighter, it's happened to me here in Texas, but I wind up getting paid because of, you know, the insurance that, you know, the promoter has to take out. You get paid through that. But it sucks because the situation itself, it's bigger than that. Like you just said, it's something like out of a movie. If Bare Knuckle Boxing or anyone from that organization was watching before we wrap this interview up, what would you like to tell them?
Give me my money.
Nick Gonzalez, thank you for taking the time out to talk to us about what's going on with your situation. Again, follow us on social media. We got Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and stay tuned because